They had jumped far away from Earth, to a region where no human could follow. Or so they hoped. Commander Vex sat in his chair, staring at nothing. The bridge around him was half destroyed. Screens were cracked. Wires hung from the ceiling. The smell of smoke filled the air. "Sir," Drex said carefully, "we are safe now. The humans cannot reach us here. Are we safe?" Vex laughed bitterly. "We came with 500 ships. We have 67 left. We had 20,000 soldiers. How many do we have now?" Drex checked his tablet. "Less than 3,000, sir." 3,000. Out of 20,000. Vex closed his four eyes. This was not a battle. This was a slaughter. And we were the prey. In the engine room, Cole was trying to keep the ship alive. Half his team was dead. The engines were barely working. Everything was falling apart. "How long until we reach home?" Myra asked. "At this speed?" 2 weeks. "Maybe more. Will the ship last that long?" Cole looked around at the damaged equipment. The broken walls. The dying lights. "I do not know. I honestly do not know." But the nightmare was not over yet. Drex looked at his scanner and felt his heart stop. "Commander, we have a problem." "What now?" "There is a ship following us. A human ship." Vex jumped to his feet. "Impossible. We are too far from Earth. No human ship could—" "It is there, sir. I am looking at it right now." On the main screen, they could see it. A small ship, moving fast through the darkness. It was shaped like a knife, sleek and deadly. And it was getting closer. Pilot Hana sat in the cockpit of her long-range fighter. It was an experimental ship, built for exactly this kind of mission. Fast, quiet, and able to travel further than any human ship before. "This is Hana to Earth Command," she said into her radio. "I have found the alien fleet. 67 ships. They are damaged and running scared." "Good work, Captain," General Park's voice answered. "What are your orders?" "I am going to follow them. See where they go. Let them know that no matter how far they run, we will find them." "Understood. Be careful out there." Hannah smiled. "I am always careful, General." She pushed her ship faster, closing the distance to the alien fleet. She did not plan to attack. Not yet. She just wanted them to see her, to know she was there, to feel the fear that came with being hunted. On the Ironclaw, Commander Vex watched the human ship come closer. It was alone. One small ship against 67. But somehow, that made it more terrifying. "She's not attacking," Drex said. "She's just following. She wants us to know," Vex replied quietly. "She wants us to understand that we can never escape. No matter where we go, they will follow." "What should we do, sir?" Vex thought for a long moment. Then he turned to his communication officer. "Open a channel. Broadcast to the entire galaxy." "Sir?" "Do it." The channel opened. Vex took a deep breath and began to speak. "This is Commander Vex of the Galactic Empire. I am sending this message as a warning to all species. Do not go to Earth. Do not attack the humans. Do not even think about invading their planet." He paused, gathering his thoughts. "We came to Earth with 500 warships and 20,000 soldiers. We thought we would conquer them in 3 days. We were fools. The humans are not weak. They are not young. They are the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Their pilots fly like demons. Their soldiers fight like monsters. Their people unite against any threat with a strength I have never seen. We hit them with everything we had, and they did not fall. They got back up and destroyed us. There is an ancient warning about Earth, a red symbol in the old records. I ignored it. I thought it was just a story. But it is real. The warning is real. Humans are apex predators. They have been fighting since the beginning of their existence. War is in their blood. It is in their soul. I have 67 ships left. Less than 3,000 soldiers. And even now, as we run for our lives, a human is following us. Just one human, in one small ship. And we are afraid of her. Vex looked out the window at the small human ship in the distance. If you are listening to this message, remember my words. The galaxy has many dangers, but nothing is more dangerous than the creatures on that small blue planet. Do not wake them. Do not anger them. Do not give them a reason to come for you, because if you do, they will never stop. They will chase you across the stars. They will hunt you to the edge of the universe. And when they find you, and they will find you, they will show no mercy. Stay away from Earth. Stay away from humans. They are the monsters we were warned about. He ended the transmission. The bridge was silent. Every officer was staring at him. "Sir," Drek said softly, "the High Council will be angry. They will say you showed weakness. Let them be angry. Let them punish me. I do not care anymore. The truth must be told. No one else should die because they did not know." Back on Earth, General Park listened to the alien transmission. He played it for his commanders. They played it for their leaders. Soon, the whole world heard Commander Vex's warning. People reacted in different ways. Some were proud. Some were scared. Some laughed. But everyone understood one thing. The universe was watching, and they had shown the universe exactly what humanity could do. In Seoul, Wu stood with his soldiers and listened to the message. When it ended, a young soldier turned to him. "Captain, do you think more aliens will come?" Wu looked up at the sky. The stars were bright tonight, beautiful and endless. "Maybe," he said. "But now they know. Now they all know. Earth is not a planet to be conquered. It is a planet that conquers." Tae and Yuna listened to the message together in a quiet room on the military base. When it ended, Yuna shook her head slowly. "Monsters," she said. "They called us monsters. Are we?" Tae asked why Yuna thought about it. She thought about the aliens who came to destroy their home. She thought about the battle in space. She thought about all the people who had fought and died to protect their planet. "Maybe we are," she finally said. "But we are monsters who protect what we love. And I think that is the best kind of monster to be." In space, Hana continued to follow the alien fleet. She would follow them for 2 more days before turning back. Long enough to make sure they never forgot her. Never forgot what humanity could do. As she flew through the endless darkness, she thought about the future. More aliens would come someday. The galaxy was big, and not everyone would listen to warnings. But that was okay. Humanity had been preparing for this moment since the first human looked up at the stars and wondered what was out there. They were ready. They had always been ready. And any species that forgot Commander Vex's warning would learn the same lesson he did. Never attack. Earth, never threaten humanity. Never wake the monsters, because once they wake up, they never stop fighting, and they never, ever lose. And 200 soldiers ran out, their weapons ready. They were tall, strong, and covered in gray armor that had stopped bullets on 100 different worlds. Their leader, Captain Rock, looked around at the empty field. There were trees in the distance, buildings far away, but no humans, no resistance. "Maybe they ran away," one soldier said. "Maybe they are hiding," another added. Rock shook his head. Something felt wrong. The field was too quiet, too empty, like it was waiting for something. "Stay together," he ordered. "Move toward the city slowly." They started walking. Their heavy boots crushed the grass beneath them. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. It was beautiful. It was peaceful. Then the first shot came. A soldier fell down, dead before he hit the ground. The aliens looked around wildly, but they could not see where the shot came from. Another shot. Another dead soldier. Take cover. Rock screamed, but there was no cover. They were in the middle of an open field, and the shots kept coming, one after another, each one perfect, each one deadly. In the trees, 200 meters away, a sniper named Jay looked through his scope. He was only 24 years old, but his hands were steady. His eyes were calm. He had been training for moments like this since he was 18. "Target down," he whispered into his radio. Moving to next target. He fired again. Another alien fell. Beside him, his spotter, a woman named Sue, watched through binoculars. "They do not know where we are. They are confused. Good. Let us keep them confused." All across the field, more snipers were firing. They were hidden in trees, in holes, behind small hills. The aliens could not see them, could not find them, could only die. ROK was panicking. 30 of his soldiers were already dead, and they had not even seen the enemy yet. This was not how war was supposed to work. In all his training, in all his battles, he had never faced anything like this. "Fall back," he ordered. "Return to the landing craft." But when they turned around, they saw something that made their blood freeze. Humans, hundreds of them, standing between the aliens and their ship. They wore green uniforms and carried weapons that looked strange and dangerous. At the front of the group stood a man with a serious face and hard eyes. His name was Wu. He was 35 years old, a captain in the Korean Special Forces. Behind him stood the best soldiers his country had to offer. "You came to our home," Wu said, his voice cold. "You threatened our families. You fired at our cities." He raised his weapon. That was a mistake. The battle was short. The aliens had numbers and armor, but the humans had something more powerful. They had rage. They had purpose. They had 1,000 years of war experience passed down from generation to generation. Wu moved through the battlefield like a ghost. He was everywhere and nowhere. Every shot he fired found its target. Every move he made was perfect. The alien soldiers tried to fight back, but they were too slow. Too predictable. Within 10 minutes, every alien in that field was dead. Not one human was lost. Wu stood over Captain Rock's body. The alien's 4 eyes stared up at nothing. His gray face was frozen in an expression of pure terror. "Send a message to command," Wu said to his radio operator. "Landing party destroyed. No survivors. Ready for the next one." This scene repeated across the planet. In Russia, a landing party was destroyed by tanks that appeared out of snowstorms. In Brazil, aliens were hunted through jungles by soldiers who knew every tree and river. In America, Marines fought with such fury that some aliens tried to surrender, only to find that humans do not always accept surrender. Back on the Iron Claw, Commander Vex was receiving reports. Each one was worse than the last. Landing Party 7 destroyed. No survivors. Landing Party 12 destroyed. No survivors. Landing Party 31 destroyed. No survivors. Vex sat in his chair, unable to move, unable to think. In 1 hour, he had lost 15,000 soldiers. His ground invasion was completely destroyed. And the humans had not even used their full strength yet. "Sir," Drek said carefully, "we need to retreat. We cannot win this fight." "Retreat?" Vex turned to look at him. "I have never retreated in my life." "Then today you learned something new. Or today we all die." Vex wanted to argue. His pride screamed at him to stay and fight. But he looked at his broken fleet. He looked at the small blue planet that had destroyed everything he sent at it. And for the first time in his life, Commander Vex felt something he had never felt before: defeat. "How many ships do we have left?" he asked quietly. 143, sir. Less than 1/3 of what we started with. 1/3. In just a few hours, they had lost 2/3 of their fleet. And they had not even touched the planet below dot on Earth. General Park was giving orders to every military in the world. The humans were not just defending anymore. They were preparing to attack. "The aliens are scared," Park said to his commanders through video call. "I can see it in how they move. They did not expect this. They thought we would be easy. Now they know the truth." "What is the plan, General?" asked a Russian commander. "We finished this. I am sending our space forces to attack what is left of their fleet. We will not let a single alien ship escape." "Some might say that is cruel," an American general said. "Cruel?" Park leaned forward. "They came here to destroy us. They wanted to take our planet, to kill our children. We did not start this war, but we will end it." In her jet, Pilot Yuna heard the new orders. Attack the remaining alien ships. Destroy them all. She looked at Tay, who was flying beside her. His face was tired but determined. "Ready for round 2? She asked. "I was born ready. Let us send these creatures home in pieces." Their jets turned toward the alien fleet. Behind them, thousands of other aircraft followed. Drones, fighters, bombers. All of humanity's sky power, united for one final push. The aliens saw them coming. They tried to run. They tried to fight. But it was too late. Wu watched the sky battle from the ground below. Lights flashed in the darkness as ships exploded. Beautiful and terrible at the same time. "Sir," a young soldier asked him, "do you think we will win?" Wu did not answer right away. He watched another alien ship die in a ball of fire. Then he looked at the young soldier and put a hand on his shoulder. "We already have, son. We already have." But in the command room of the Iron Claw, Drex was discovering something that would change everything. Something hidden in the ancient records. Something that explained why the red warning existed in the first place. And when he read what the old explorers had written about humans, his blood turned to ice. The ship shook every few seconds as another attack hit the shields. But he did not notice any of it. His eyes were fixed on the screen in front of him. The ancient records. The ones from thousands of years ago, when the first explorers visited Earth. Back then, humans were still young. They lived in caves. They hunted animals with rocks and sticks. They should have been nothing special. But the explorers wrote something strange. "We landed on the planet Earth to study the native species. They are called humans. They are small. They are weak. They have no natural weapons, no claws, no sharp teeth, no armor. By all measurements, they should be prey." Drex kept reading. "But something is wrong with these creatures. We watched them hunt today. A group of 10 humans chased a large animal for 3 days. 3 days without stopping. They did not catch the animal with speed. They caught it because they never gave up. They ran until the animal collapsed from exhaustion. Then they killed it with stones. We have never seen any species do this. Most predators attack quickly or not at all. These humans, they do not stop, ever." The ship shook again. Drex heard screaming from somewhere in the distance. But he could not look away from the screen. Day 7 of observation. Something terrible happened today. One of our team members was killed by a human. We do not know how they found our hidden camp. We do not know how they got past our security. We only found our friend's body in the morning, with a stone knife in his chest. We are leaving this planet immediately. We recommend no one ever return. But there was more. Drax scrolled down and found another entry, written hundreds of years later. A fleet was sent to Earth for invasion. 5,000 ships. 2 million soldiers. They thought the old warnings were just stories. They were wrong. The humans had grown. They had cities now, weapons, organization, but more than that, they had learned to hate. When our fleet arrived, the humans did not run. They did not hide. They attacked with a fury we have never seen in any species. The invasion lasted 12 days. Our fleet was destroyed completely. Not one ship escaped. The humans followed our retreating soldiers into space and hunted them down one by one. They did not want victory. They wanted extinction. The High Council has decided to quarantine Earth forever. The red warning symbol has been placed on all records. No one must ever go there again. Humans are not prey. They are not even normal predators. They are something worse. They are apex predators who have conquered their own planet and now hunger for more. They do not fight for resources or territory. They fight because something deep inside them enjoys the battle. Stay away from Earth. Stay away from humans. They are the monsters of the galaxy. Drax finished reading. His hands were shaking. His heart was beating so fast he could hear it in his ears. Everything made sense now. The shields they could not break through. The pilots who could not be hit. The soldiers who fought with such terrible skill. Humans were not young and weak. They were ancient warriors in young bodies. Every human alive carried thousands of years of war in their blood. They had been fighting since they were born, fighting animals, fighting nature, fighting each other. War was not something they learned. It was something they were. Drax ran to the bridge. The doors opened, and he saw chaos. Officers were shouting. Screens were exploding. Commander Vex stood in the middle of it all, looking lost. "Commander!" Drax grabbed him by the arm. "You need to see this. I know why we cannot win. Not now, Drax. We are under attack. That is exactly why you need to see this." He shoved the tablet into Vex's hands. The commander looked down and started reading. With each line, his gray face grew paler. His 4 eyes grew wider. "This cannot be true," Vex whispered. "It is true, sir. The old records. The warnings. They were all true. Humans are not a young species we can conquer. They are apex predators. They have destroyed every invader who ever came to their world. And now," Drax swallowed hard, "now they are coming for us." Vex looked out the window. He could see human jets flying toward his remaining ships. There were so many of them, like a swarm of angry insects, each one carrying death. "We awakened them," Vex said quietly. "We came to their home and woke them up. Yes, sir. And now they will never stop hunting us." "No, sir. They will not." In the engine room, Cole and Mira felt the ship shake again. The lights flickered. Something was burning nearby. "The shields are failing," Cole said. "We have maybe 10 minutes before they break completely. Can we fix them?" "No. There is too much damage." Cole looked at Mira with sad eyes. "I told you this mission would not be easy. You told me missions that seem easy never are. You were right. I wish I was wrong." Outside, Pilot Hana was leading an attack on the largest alien ship. She was 26 years old, with long black hair tied back and eyes that burned with determination. She had already destroyed 15 alien fighters today. She was not planning to stop. "All units focus fire on the big ship," she ordered. "That is their command vessel. If we take it down, the rest will fall apart." "Understood." "Captain Hannah," voices answered through her radio. She pushed her jet forward, diving toward the Iron Claw. Alien guns fired at her. but she twisted and spun through the shots like they were nothing. She had been flying since she was 16. The sky was her home. Space was just another sky. On the bridge of the Ironclaw, an officer screamed, "Human fighter approaching! She is too fast. We cannot hit her." Commander Vex watched the small jet come closer. He could almost see the pilot inside. A young human woman with fire in her eyes. "She's not afraid," he said. "None of them are afraid. Sir, we need to retreat now, or we will not retreat at all." Vex nodded slowly. His pride was broken. His fleet was destroyed. His soldiers were dead. There was nothing left to fight for. "All ships," he said into the communication system, "retreat immediately. Jump to safe space. Leave everything behind." Hannah saw the alien ships start to glow. They were preparing to run. She pushed her jet faster, firing everything she had at the command ship. "You are not getting away that easily," she said through her teeth. Her missiles hit the Ironclaw's engines. The ship shook. Smoke poured from its side, but it still managed to jump, disappearing in a flash of light. Other alien ships followed. One by one, they vanished into the darkness, running from the planet they had come to conquer, but not all of them escaped. Hannah and her pilots hunted down the slower ships. They showed no mercy. They gave no chance to surrender. When it was over, only 67 alien ships had escaped. The rest were floating wreckage, scattered across space like broken toys. Hannah flew slowly through the debris field. She saw alien bodies floating in the void. She should have felt happy. They had won. But all she felt was tired. "This is Hannah to all units," she said. "The battle is over. Return to base." She turned her jet toward Earth, the beautiful blue planet that she had just helped save. Her home. Her everything. But as she flew, she made herself a promise. If any aliens ever came back, she would be ready. She would always be ready. That was what it meant to be human. They moved like angry bees, twisting and turning through space, each one locked onto a different ship. "Shields up!" Vex shouted. "All ships, raise shields now!" The order went out across the fleet. Blue energy barriers appeared around every warship. The aliens had used these shields for thousands of years. They had stopped plasma fire. They had stopped laser beams. They had stopped everything. The first missile hit. The explosion was so bright that Vex had to cover his eyes. When he looked again, one of his ships was gone. Just gone. Nothing left, pieces of metal floating in space. "Impossible," Drex whispered. "Our shields—" "They went through the shields," another officer said, his voice shaking. "The missiles went through like they were nothing." More explosions lit up the darkness. 5 ships. 10 ships. 20 ships. Each missile found its target. Each target died. "Return fire," Vex commanded. "All weapons, fire at the planet." The fleet answered. Thousands of green energy beings shot down toward Earth. They would burn cities. They would boil oceans. They would turn mountains into dust. But something strange happened. The beams hit an invisible wall. They spread out across the sky and disappeared. The planet below remained untouched. "They have a shield," Drex said, staring at his screen. "The whole planet has a shield around it." Vex could not believe it. A planetary shield was something only the oldest, most powerful species could build. The humans were supposed to be young, weak. How could they have such technology? Down on Earth, in a military base in Korea, Pilot Tae was running toward his jet. He was 28 years old, with short black hair and calm eyes. He had been training for this moment his whole life. He just never thought it would actually happen. "Tae, wait for me," He turned to see Yuna running behind him. She was his wingmate, his partner in the sky. They had flown together for 5 years. She was fast, smart, and never afraid. "The aliens are real," she said, breathing hard. "I still cannot believe it." "Believe it later. Fight now." They climbed into their jets. The engines roared to life. All around them, other pilots were doing the same. Hundreds of jets, all ready to fly into the unknown. "This is General Park," a voice said through the radio. "All pilots, listen carefully. Our ground missiles have hurt them, but they still have many ships. Your job is simple. Go up there and finish them." "Understood, General," Tay replied. "One more thing. These aliens have never faced humans before. Let us show them why that was a mistake." "Good luck." The jets took off. They flew up through the clouds, through the thin air, and into the darkness of space. Tay had never been this high before. Below him, Earth looked so small, so fragile, but he did not feel small. He felt angry. These creatures had come to his home. They had tried to make his people surrender. They had fired weapons at his planet. And now they would pay. "I see them," Yuna said through the radio. "So many ships. Then we have many targets. Let us not waste time." The jets attacked. They moved faster than the alien ships expected. They twisted through space like they were dancing. Every time an alien gun tried to hit them, they were already gone. Tay fired his missiles. 2 alien fighters exploded. He fired again. 3 more died. The aliens tried to run, but they were too slow, too clumsy. These pilots, an alien officer reported to Commander Vex. They move like they can see the future. "We cannot hit them. Then send more fighters." Vex shouted. They sent more fighters. 500 of them poured out of the warships, filling the space between Earth and the fleet. It was the largest fighter attack in alien history. It was not enough that the human pilots worked together like one mind. When one was in danger, another came to help. When one ran out of missiles, another covered them. They were not just pilots. They were a family. Yuna flew beside Tay, matching his every move. "On your left." She called out. Tay turned and fired. An alien fighter exploded right before it could hit him. "Thanks," he said. "You can buy me dinner later. If we survive this." "We will survive. We are human." She said it like it was the most obvious thing in the world. And maybe it was. Back on the Iron Claw, Commander Vex was losing control. His officers were running around in panic. Screens were flashing red. Alarms were screaming. "We have lost 100 ships." Someone yelled. 150. 200. How? Vex grabbed Drex by the shoulder. "How is this possible? They are young. They are weak." Drex looked at his commander with hollow eyes. "Sir, I think we were wrong. The old records. The red warning. It was not old information. It was a promise." "A promise?" "A promise of what would happen to anyone who came here." In the engine room, Cole and Mira were trying to keep the ship alive. Fires burned everywhere. The walls shook with each explosion outside. "We need to leave," Myra said. "We need to run." "The commander will never run," Cole replied. "His pride will not let him, and his pride will kill us all." On Earth, more forces were joining the fight. From every country, jets and missiles flew up to meet the invaders. Russia sent their best pilots. America sent their fastest jets. China sent wave after wave of drones. Even small countries sent what they could. The whole world was fighting. For the first time in human history, there were no borders, no enemies, only Earth and the things trying to hurt it. General Park watched the battle from his command center. Screens covered every wall, showing him everything that was happening in space. He was an old man, with gray hair and a face full of wrinkles. He had fought many wars, but nothing like this. "General," an officer said, "the aliens are pulling back their fighters. They are returning to their main ships. Why? We think they are preparing for a ground attack. They want to land soldiers on Earth." Park smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of a hunter who sees his prey walking into a trap. "Let them land," he said. "Let them meet our ground forces. Sir, trust me. Those aliens think they have seen human strength. They have seen nothing. Wait until they meet our soldiers face to face." In space, Commander Vex made his decision. The space battle was a disaster. But maybe the ground would be different. Humans were good pilots, but surely they could not fight on land too. "Prepare the landing crafts," he ordered. "We will take the planet the old way, soldier by soldier, city by city." "Yes, sir," Drex said quietly. The landing crafts launched. 50 of them, each carrying hundreds of alien soldiers. They flew down through Earth's atmosphere, heading for different countries. Different cities. They thought they were going to conquer. They did not know they were going to die. Tay watched the landing crafts go down. He wanted to chase them, but his fuel was low. He had to return to Earth. "Let the ground forces handle them," Una said through the radio. "We have done our part." "For now," Tay replied. "Something tells me this fight is far from over." He was right. The real war was just beginning, and the aliens were about to learn the most important lesson in the galaxy: never invade Earth. The stars were quiet that night. They always were in the deep parts of space, far away from any sun or moon. But tonight, the silence was about to break. Commander Vex stood on the bridge of his great warship, the Iron Claw. He was tall for his species, with gray skin and 4 eyes that glowed softly in the dim light. Behind him, hundreds of officers worked at their stations, pressing buttons and watching screens. They were the best soldiers in the Galactic Empire, and they had never lost a war. "Commander," said a young officer named Drex, walking up to him with a tablet in his hands, "we have received new orders from the High Council." Vex turned slowly. His face showed no emotion. It never did. "Read them to me." Drex looked down at the tablet. His hands were shaking a little. He was young, only 20 cycles old, and this was his first real mission. "The High Council has chosen our next target. We are to invade a small planet in the outer arm of the galaxy. It is called Earth." "Earth," Vex repeated. The word felt strange on his tongue. "I have never heard of it." "It is a young world, sir. The people there have only been in space for a short time. Less than 100 of their years. They are weak. They fight among themselves. The Council believes we can take their planet in 3 days." Vex nodded slowly. 3 days was a long time for such a small target. Usually, they could conquer a planet in hours. But he did not question the Council. He never did. "How many ships do we have?" he asked. 500 warships, sir. 20,000 soldiers. 50 landing crafts. Good. That should be more than enough. Drex hesitated. There was something else on the tablet, something that made his stomach feel cold. "Sir, there is one more thing. Speak. The planet Earth. It has a warning mark in the old records. A red symbol. I have never seen it before." Vex's 4 eyes narrowed. A red symbol was rare. Very rare. In all his years of service, he had only seen it twice. Both times, it meant danger. Both times, they had lost many soldiers. "Show me," he said. Drex handed him the tablet. Vex looked at the screen. There it was, next to the planet's name. A small red circle with a line through it. Below the symbol were words in the ancient language of the first explorers. Warning, do not approach. Do not engage. Do not wake them. Vex stared at the words for a long moment. Then he laughed. It was a cold, empty sound. This record is old, he said. It was written thousands of years ago. Whatever danger was there, it is gone now. The humans are young. They are not a threat. But sir, enough. Vex's voice was hard. The council has given us an order. We will follow it. Prepare the fleet for jump. Drex wanted to say more. He wanted to tell the commander that something felt wrong. But he was just a young officer. Who was he to question the great Commander Vex? Yes, sir, he said quietly and walked away. The next few hours were busy. All across the fleet, soldiers prepared for battle. They cleaned their weapons. They checked their armor. They said goodbye to their families through long-distance messages in the engine room of the Iron Claw. Chief Engineer Cole worked without rest. He was old, older than most of the crew, and he had seen many battles. But something about this mission made him feel uneasy. Have you heard about the target? Asked his assistant, a young female named Mira. Earth, Cole said, not looking up from his work. Yes, I have heard. They say it will be easy. 3 days, and we will be done. Cole stopped working. He turned to look at Myra with tired eyes. I have been in this fleet for 40 cycles. Do you know what I have learned in that time? Myra shook her head. When they say a mission will be easy, it never is. On the bridge, Commander Vex watched as his fleet formed into attack position. 500 warships, all pointing toward the same distant star. It was a beautiful sight. A powerful sight. All ships report ready, sir, Drex said. Good. Begin the jump. The engines roared to life. Space itself seemed to bend and twist around the ships. In a flash of bright light, the entire fleet disappeared, leaving nothing behind but empty darkness. They traveled through a tunnel of light and color. It took only a few minutes, but those minutes felt like hours. Jump travel was never comfortable. It made your head hurt and your stomach turn. When the light faded, they were there. Earth floated in front of them, blue and green and white. It was a small planet, smaller than Vex had expected. It looked peaceful, harmless. It is beautiful, Myra whispered to herself, watching from a window in the engine room. Beautiful things are often the most dangerous, Cole replied. On the bridge, Drex was scanning the planet with his instruments. His face grew more and more confused as he read the data. Sir, he said slowly, there is something strange. What is it? The humans, they have detected us. Already. We have been here for only 30 seconds, and they know we are here. Vax frowned. That was not possible. Their ships had the best hiding technology in the galaxy. No young species should be able to see them so quickly. Are you sure? Yes, sir. They are sending messages to each other, all across the planet. They are preparing. Preparing for what? Drex looked up at his commander. His 4 eyes were wide with something Vex had never seen in him before. Fear. For war, sir. They are preparing for war. Vex turned back to the window. He looked at the small blue planet floating in the darkness. For the first time in many years, he felt something cold move through his chest, but he pushed the feeling away. He was Commander Vex. He had conquered 100 worlds. He would not be afraid of a planet full of young, weak creatures. Send the surrender message, he ordered. Tell them to give up. Tell them resistance is useless. Yes, sir. The message was sent. It traveled down to Earth at the speed of light. It was heard by every government, every military, every person with a radio. The fleet waited for a response. And then, from the small blue planet below, came the answer. It was not words. It was not surrender. It was missiles. Hundreds of them. rising from the surface like angry fire, all flying straight toward the fleet. Commander Vex watched the missiles come. And for the first time in his long life, he wondered if he had made a terrible mistake.